Hello everyone, this is Rui PCB, your trusted PCB partner. Today we will introduce how to add net classes in KiCad. We briefly mentioned net classes when introducing the tools before, but we didn't go into detail about how to use them. Today we'll start explaining how to use net classes. Net classes are used to group networks for specific purposes, making it easier to quickly view, assign, and set design rules, among other operations. For example, you can add networks like 12V, 5V, 3.3V, and GND to the PowerNet class, and then define separate rules for line width, spacing, and so on for the PowerNet class. Now let's see how to add them. First, in the schematic, click on File, then Schematic Setup, and select Net Classes on the left. Here, we can see that a new net class has already been created. The default net class is the default. Any nets that are not specifically assigned will be categorized under this default net class. This schematic has created a PowerNet class with a line width of 6, a bus width of 12, and a solid line style. Next, we can see below that it has already assigned two nets GND and VCC to the PowerNet class. Nets not assigned remain in the default net class. Now, let's look at our schematic. It's for a PCI interface board, so let's define the PCI interface as a separate net class. First, in the net classes, create a new one and name it PCI. Then set the line width to 10 and the bus width to 15. The line type for our nets will also be solid. You don't need to select a color here. Now, this net class has been created. Next, we'll specifically assign nets to this net class. When adding a net class, you'll see that it's currently set to default and nothing appears on the right. In KiCad 6, you could manually select nets, and after selecting, all the net classes would appear on the right. However, in version 7.0, this feature was removed because it not only displayed the nets we could see, but also showed many hidden nets, which made it less convenient for users. Here, it has changed to using regular expression matching to select net classes. The basic syntax for regular expression matching is that when you add a new net that matches an existing pattern, it will automatically be assigned to the associated net class. The most important part is using wildcards and regular expression. An asterisk is used to represent any number of any characters, and a question mark matches a single character. Nets are successfully matched will be displayed on the right. Now let's take a look at how to match. The asterisk can be used arbitrarily, so let's try one. First asterisk. Asterisk. See, after entering the asterisk, all the nets appear. If we want to add all of the nets of the PC type, how exactly do we effectively do that? We can simply use an asterisk, then precisely specify PC, and then another asterisk. In this way, let's carefully see if it accurately selects precisely what we want. Yes, this means all networks related to PC have been added here. Then we just need to click OK. In this way, it has been added to a basic net class. Next, let's check the effect of the addition in the schematic and PCB. How do we effectively view the net class effect within the PCB design environment? First, on the right-hand side under the Appearance panel, specifically within the Dedicated Nets tab, you can clearly observe all the detailed net information presented at the top section, and the various net classes are conveniently displayed at the bottom section. The PCI default net class and the PowerNet class we just created are both there. So how do we view them? We need to select ONLET take power as an example. Right-click, then choose Highlight Net. The highlighted part here is the negative rail, which is GND. In this PowerNet class, there are GND and VCC. So the red nets you see are VCC, and all the GNDs are highlighted as well. After that, we can clear the highlight. Now, let's take a look at the PCI net class we added. Similarly, right-click and select Highlight PCI net class, and you'll see that all the PCI-related nets are now highlighted. This makes it easier for us to check whether the routing of a certain net class is correct and whether the rules used are appropriate. Alright, that's all for today's comprehensive and informative content. If you thoroughly enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel for many more engaging and insightful videos in the future. Thank you very much, everyone.